Hello, beautiful friends and souls around the world. I'm checking in for a short update and sharing regarding the solar eclipse, which will happen tomorrow, Saturday on the 14th October, and I just wanted to share a few little things. So first of all, the time now is really energetically pressing us to take ownership of our own life forces. And when I say life forces, it means actually to really take the lead in our life, to get self-empowered. But often this is not so easy because many have been just very wounded along the way, and that level of self-confidence might be just not that high. Many insecurities as well through different experiences in life, through different interactions with people, family, relationships, and so on. And that's why it might suddenly become very intense in these days, not to kind of scare us off, not to just say, okay, it's a solar eclipse and everything is now shaking inside and outside on the world. No, it's actually really a powerful gift to push out, to point with the light where it's still in the dark, hidden, what we basically tried to forget, to suppress. And these are usually, like I mentioned on the beginning, deep traumatic imprints, memories, feelings, and sometimes they can go even beyond this lifetime. And to really step now into our more leadership, self-empowerment state, we just basically really need to get those, let's say, skeletons out of the closet. Yes, so, and that's actually the deep work when we do the so-called shadow work. And the shadow work usually starts around that time, and with the eclipses and the Scorpion season. And again, I'm coming on to just actually bring some tools or some support to not fear that inner work, that shadow work with our own selves, because it's not just something uncomfortable to go now to those memories where someone maybe hurt us, betray us in many different ways, but as well, or even to not feel safe on this planet, in this body, in our life, but as well to actually finally break this karmic cycle we've been in for so many, basically thousands of years. All right. And that's why it's an intense time, but as well, there's always a jewel behind that, right? There is always a gift too. And often when we're just in that shadow, in that pain, in that sorrow, we can't see instantly that it's as well a gift. And how to deal with this now? When something is rising up, again, it's the purpose to basically allow us now with higher understanding, higher consciousness, to move out that we've been victim. So we are not dismissing the memory that indeed we experienced pain, sorrow, that people taking advantage of us. But again, we are having now a choice. There is always a choice, another option, another road, another route, another journey version of ourselves that we can take. And when energies like that are coming in, like for example now this eclipse season, we have again a choice to intensely, yes, not easy, but very fast shift what been still imprinting us to be a victim. And now imagine, how can we become sovereign, powerful creators, co-creators, if we still carrying in our body system, in our mental body, in our emotional body, in our heart, that memory that you're just being completely devastated by someone, taken advantage, hurt by someone, that you hold this grudge towards them, because all of that, beautiful friends, we are holding in our system, so we are blocking the road towards from victimhood to actually higher consciousness, higher awareness of all what there is. Okay, so this means that it's now again given, because we are so loved in the universe from source. We are every time given in particular timings a new possibility, a new choice, a new crossroad, that we are at crossroads. Okay, so at this time again, because we're having the solar eclipse energy coming in, it's all about that self-confidence, self-empowerment, that we can finally close that chapter of this endless looping karmic information in us. Because if we don't, beloveds, whatever you do, even if you throw yourself into work or distract yourself with anything, with traveling, with food, with TV, with whatever you want, with different partners, it's still there. So this means the experience will be again activated, and you will just have the same experience with one of these situations if we are not finally dealing with those traumas, with these deep-rooted patterns looping, and even belief, idea systems of our own selves, because we then think that we are not able to do stuff because we've been hurt. So this means I perceive myself as someone being hurt, so I'm the victim. That moment you're constantly telling yourself, I've been betrayed, I've been betrayed, I've been betrayed, means that basically you are constantly feeding still the idea that you're still a victim. So this means we are not getting out of the loop, because we are still ourselves telling that story what happened. And again, the story did happen, but now it's not then. So you see, we are actually constantly bringing the past into the now. So how can we then cross the new pathway to the other side, to a new experience, if we ourselves are still feeding that at some point we've been victims? And that's the biggest one, because all the wounds are connected with the idea I'm being a victim. So we're having now the chance, quite a big chance actually, on a collective level, to let go, to clear, to basically transmute the idea that I'm still a victim. Just because once upon a time I've been hurt, once upon a time someone did something terrible to me, or even I did something terrible to someone else. So I'm still as well, in a way, feeling not good, because I'm still as well judging myself that I did something terrible, right? So you see, in any version, we are keeping ourselves small through feeding our belief system that we are victims. And that's why really it's huge, but it's simple at the same time. That's why we still have, yes, we do, war on the world and all these terrible outcomes, because we still feed collectively the idea that we are actually in some level victims. So how to start now to clear that, right? First of all, whatever will come up now in these weeks, in these days for you, through these energies of the eclipse, journal, write it down. Remember everything. Remember maybe how you've been abandoned by your parents with, I don't know, 1-2 years old, that you could feel the energy that you were not supported, that you've been not welcomed. Write down every single idea around that memory which you can basically still remember. Also, all of this kind of experiences through relationships, we all had this, that we've been in some way disappointed, having disagreements, taken advantage of, disrespected, even hurt in different ways. So just basically write down the names, these people, these situations which we experienced, but then consciously cut the cords. And this you can do so simply, because what we bring into consciousness is not anymore subconsciously influencing our life, and it will not vibrate still in us, and it will not then create again another person I have to fear that they will again just taking advantage of me. You see, so we empower ourselves when we face it and then consciously decide, I'm now cutting the cord to the person, to the situation, to that timing. So when I was 2 years old, I'm cutting now the cord of this memory, so it's not disappearing, but the influence of that loop stops. Because that's the time when we start to self-empower us by not anymore allowing, and this is now a very important sentence, not anymore allowing through the hurt, through the pain, through the situation, through the people, to give away our power. And just feel into that, because every time when we speak about my father was so terrible to me, my partner left me for someone else, they are just taking, I don't know, advantage, they just want my money, whatever it is, the moment we are speaking about it and still believing in it, we are giving them the situation, the feeling, the wound, our power. And that's why it's still looping, and that's why it's still in our field, and that's why still consciously and non-conscious, subconscious, we are attracting still different situation, people with the same outcome. So the outcome would be again someone who hurts me, again someone who just wants, I don't know, my money, and so on and so on. So you see, it's really all. And now you're here as the adult, and it's still you who can now decide, if you want to cut this cord of the situation, of the same experience, of the same people, and so on. Because all of this is distracting you, your feelings, your higher understanding, to just move further forwards onto a really, really golden, beautiful future. And the future is now here. So it's not in 10 years, in 100 years. It's the moment I cut whatever was still holding me, those cords, this taking energy from me, that's very exhausting, constantly feeling fear and anxiety of what people did to me. That's really, really exhausting. And I can't do that anymore if I want to sustain myself as a healthy, harmonious person. So this means it's so important that I start now to take care of me and stop blaming what everyone and everything did to me, because this was, and I can now close that chapter. You can do it step by step, not maybe everything in the first day, but now it's a really profound time for this introspection on all levels, on all. Where am I still in my mental state, in my mindset, putting myself down, like, okay, if I was told, parents, I don't know, partners, that I can just do nothing, that I'm worthless, that I'm really like having nothing in me, I'm not having that worth, that you stop telling yourself what others once at some time told you. Because we are now, in past, in future, always source. And this means if we are always source, no way that anything and anyone can take from us energy, drain us, overpower us, play games with us, manipulate us, only when we still have open, I would say, like hooks, like open doors, where the hook from that is inside of us. To make it more easy, that is not so complicated. So these holes are, I was once hurt, so it's an open space that again someone just can trigger us there, and here we are. And again, it happens the same. So it's our job, from no one else, that we start to release, to take introspection. Where do I still carry pain? Where am I still triggered by someone? And not put it anymore under the carpet, basically, yes? But that you really, like that, get your power back. That's as well what this powerful eclipse, solar eclipse, will remind us on, yeah? But the reminder will be very profound, because it will shed the light directly where we still give actually our powers away. We give it away to believe and feel and think that we've been still in this now moment victims. So if we experienced before being a victim, at this moment we are not anymore, and we have the choice to basically let this go now. And again, it's not a comfortable work. That's why usually people don't want to go inside deep, where it's dark, where it's unconscious, where the skeletons are waiting, because it's just, again, we like it's more lightful. We don't like to go into harsh situations, and that's why many are avoiding that inner work. But again, that avoidance is maybe helping for a moment, but on a long term you suffer. On a long term, it's a long, deep, silent suffer. So it's really worth it to start to check within and check, where do I still have those wounds, triggers? Where do I still feel resentment towards someone, anger towards someone, frustration, why it doesn't change finally in this world or in my job or where I am? I want it different. You will get it different the moment you let go what makes you believe that you're then staying actually in a lower frequency. If I believe nothing is happening with my job and I constantly working like crazy and don't get any outcome of prosperity, then it shows you that you're still here working out, vibrating from lack. You're not believing into prosperity, into that actually everything can be yours. Everything. So it's again my mindset to blame. I don't want to say blame, but really to clear it, let go, and gently, nothing is overnight, gently start with small things. You can write things down and just pop it everywhere in your room, for example. I deserve everything. I can work what makes me joyful and get prosperity through that. I can be just creative and I attract. And that's not just a different kind of affirmation. It's just a little gentle way how start to reprogram mindset. Because again, if I believe still I'm a victim, I won't be prosper, I won't be in a harmonious relationship, I won't be attracting amazing work situation and beautiful soul family who understands me and really accept me, but I will stay then rather in toxic situation, because the toxicity is only, again, a mirror what I still in myself see that I'm a victim from. So this victim stuff is really past. beautiful souls, we all deserve to be now free from that. And that's this huge karmic cycle, which is now basically giving us the opportunity to close it through the solar eclipse tomorrow, but as well in the next weeks and towards the end of the year, because 2024 has so much something else in store for us, high vibrational stuff for us, because then we move through this last dark basically tunnel. And that's why we need to clear this out, because the tunnel is actually our body. That's Gaia, that's our body. And now imagine that's life, that's me. So when I clear more and more of these pathways, less dense, less fear, less anger, frustration, everything that vibrates low is actually thick. Yeah, that's the density. So you bring more light through new understanding, and this you can do daily. Okay, I know that my father isn't a terrible person just because he was hurt. He doesn't know different how to act. So I can see that now. Yes, it was painful when it happened when I was small, but now I'm grown up. I have new accessible ways to higher new consciousness, and this I can use to shift and gently move through this density, because the density, I then basically shed light on it and it transmutes. And suddenly the pathway is open for new experiences. Okay? And yes, this would be that part. So basically really journal, write down today, tomorrow, because it's also new moon, and that new moon is in Libra, and Libra brings as well this balance. It wants to bring us that balance into different sections of our life. So we have the solar eclipse with empowerment, so it will empower the harmony in all those different sections we are allowing to tap in. So write down which you really want to release, forgive, cut cords with people, situation, times of your life. So this means when I was 3 years old, when I was 5, whatever it is, and it's enough. It's really enough to just bring it into consciousness and then consciously decide, I, Gaby, am now cutting cords with all what is still hurting me from the time when I was in the relationship with my previous partner. And I'm freeing the pathway now to bring in a much more higher vibrational, more aligned to me, to my path, partner, and you can write anything down. Harmonious, understanding, open communication, supportive, and so on. So all of this you can really utilize it, amplify it, whatever you're seeding now out. It's really, really, really a potent time. So don't fear to do now this deep introspection, this deep inner work, shadow work, because the shadows are just waiting to be basically enlightened, because every enlightenment, it brings new part of wisdom in the pot of your wisdom. So it's life wisdom. We learned from all of this. So we are not anymore with our consciousness state in that state that we think that we are victims on any kind of levels, not with the material, not with people, not with family, not with anything, not with past, not with my body, not with my self-confidence. Everything you can work now with. Yes? So we are basically collectively shifting through this solar eclipse the victim programming with all these wounds we are still holding on, resentments, fear, etc., into higher consciousness understanding. And that brings us then the self-empowerment, like the sun. All right? Okay, and then as well tomorrow, for the solar eclipse on the 14th, I'm offering a transmission which will be online. So this means freely online. I will post it on Facebook It will be 5 p.m. UK time, and it will be a very powerful transmission, not just because it's a solar eclipse, but I have already the pre-information. I'm bringing in or activating, helping to activate you as well in your bodies, in your DNA, the original royal dragon codes. And for better understanding, I will also explain tomorrow, but it's like we would plug into the true organic divine matrix, which has the, let's say, the real plan, and not the distorted what we've been taught here with all of the limitations. And this will basically switch on tomorrow globally, and you can imagine it like meridians of Gaia, of the earth. And these meridians, as we as well, the earth, the body, will as well switch on then in our bodies. So much more inner fire, higher consciousness, more self-empowerment, and more attunement with the new earth grid system. But more tomorrow, when I'm going to explain a little bit more. And I will also have guest support, but everything tomorrow, okay? So I really hope that this supported you, helped you, and on some level reminded you that we are just basically working on transmuting any kind of corner of our understanding that we are still victims, which we are surely not. So please just work on you, because every body who works on that actually contributes to the whole collective system. So together we can just so much more and faster shift into a higher state, and then trust me, and not me, but trust you, your soul, your source, which knows already that this means that things which we see now, like the different situations, wars, etc., is just something which wants to come to the light, to be transmuted and change the perspective that we are not anymore feeding that idea of separation, of being victim, of being hurt, of being constantly needing to protect ourselves. Because imagine if we are sending out to the world, to the cosmos, to the source, I need to protect myself, someone will do something to me, relationship, friends, even in the work, means that we are sending out information. I still fear to basically unite with all there is. So we are still ourselves in resistance to unity and oneness. And that's why it's not easy to be, let's say, the pre-rider, the first ones, the first wave, it doesn't matter how you call that. But lay down all the weapons, lay them down, and really trust, when you open your heart, that there's only this reality of love, because the love from the heart is streaming that and creating this new reality. I'm sending you so much love from this full of mosquitoes field, and I just really, really, really love everyone with all you're doing on your unique way. So really don't think that it's nothing what you're doing, that you're falling back into patterns, but that you're always doing your best. That's also a beautiful first step forward. So much love, and hopefully see you tomorrow at a solar eclipse transmission at 5 p.m. UK time. Was it 5? No, 6. Okay, 6 p.m. UK time. Much love. Bye.